So here we are. You fed the client, you lowered the price, you played nice, and you paid for it. In part 5, I told you about the client I paid to feed. And now we're naming the pressure points. The subtle ways you second guess your prices, your policies, your process, all in the name of being booked and busy. But let's be honest, booked and busy doesn't mean thriving. Sometimes it just means tired, underpaid, and on edge. So let's talk about it. It starts small. You knock $50 off your rate, you skip the travel fee just to avoid an awkward combo, you let them text you late, ask for a few extras, you tell yourself it's no big deal, you'll fix it next time. But what you're really doing is negotiating against yourself. And once you start that pattern, it's hard to stop, especially when the client says, "You're amazing," but your gut says, "I'm not being paid what I'm worth." You want the roster, the referrals, the word of mouth, and I get that. But if the price of that is your peace, it's too expensive. You didn't start this to be the yes woman or man in every room. You started this to lead, to feed, to own your gift. The moment you shrink your standards to fit someone else's comfort, you lose your authority. If your calendar is full, but your confidence is empty, that's not the win you think it is. And you don't need permission to protect your peace. You just need a decision. So let me remind you, you are not too expensive. You are not too direct. You are not too much. You're just clear. And clarity scares people who benefit from your confusion. Now, in part 7, we're talking about how to walk away with grace and guts. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is no. So hit those buttons. Share this with a fellow chef who needs the reminder. You don't have to negotiate with yourself to be valuable. I'll see you in the next one.